Welcome back to Crazy Gamers Games. We are now on part 21 of my quest to build an Adeptus Mechanicus army for Warhammer 40k. The army is coming along very well. We have multiple units built. But today I am going to attempt my first kit bash. Now this idea isn't wholly my idea. I got some inspiration off of Facebook. And I'm taking that inspiration and I'm going to tweak it a little bit. What I found on Facebook was these Cataphrone battle servitors. They took the bottom track section and they took the Adeptus Titanicus top knight section on the baby knights, Imperial Knights, and they put those together and they made the battle servitors. Well, I was like, well, that's a good idea. That'd be a nice little troop choice. I could, looking at the sprue on the Imperial Knights, I could probably magnetize all the weapon options for both the destroyers and the breachers. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do with the top parts, these servitor bodies? And I thought about it a little bit further, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with the legs of the knights? And I came up with the idea to build just a servitor unit with the legs from the knights and the upper bodies from these battle servitors. And that got me thinking more, because in the Vigilus book, there is a specialist attachment that you can spend 1 CP on called the Servitor Maniple. And basically, it works with all servitors. And the main thing I thought was pretty cool with this is your plain servitors can be sacrificed to bring back one of your battle servitors. So this interested me, so I looked around with all the different bits I have from all the different kits. And I believe I have come up with the parts to build the servitors out of the legs of these baby Imperial Knights and the top bodies of these battle servitors, so that I would be able to use the Servitor Maniple. So that is my plan. So let's take a look at the sprues and look at what I'm talking about here. So we have the track pieces or a decent size, and then we'll take a look at this knight sprue. And the carapace for the knight sprue is, it's going to fit on there. It's going to fit on the tracks pretty well, I believe. And then the legs, like here's the little feet, and then here's some leg joints, and then if I use the hip joint right here, I can hopefully mount one of these bodies. Like right there is the body. I'm hoping I can mount that on that hip joint. So that is my plan. I had received a unit, Devastator squad, and it's a Space Marines squad, but it has multi-miltas in it, heavy bolters, and plasma cannons in it. And if you look in the Adeptus Mechanicus book, the servitors are a group of 4 units, and they all come with servo arms, but 2 of them can replace their servo arms in place of multi-miltas, heavy bolters, or plasma cannons. So basically that put all the pieces I need together. The only problem is the servo arms. I don't have any extra servo arms like what's on a Tech Priest. But what I do have is pieces like this right here. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There we go. That piece 47 right there, that kind of looks like a servo arm. And there's 3 of these on the different sprues. And I do not have to include them on the knights when I build the battle servitors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together one of the battle servitors with all the armor plating, but with no body and top section on it. Then I'm going to come back and show you what I got, and I'm also going to clip out the top section of this carapace from these baby Imperial Knights. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. I got the top piece of the baby knight done, the carapace. I've glued the bottom section. I haven't glued the top section yet because I'm not sure. I'm still debating on how to connect it. But as you can see, and then I have the bottom beginning of the battle servitor. So this is kind of my vision. And like I said, this was based off another post on Facebook. I don't know who the post was. I saw it over a month ago, and I tried to locate the post again, but I couldn't find it. But this is kind of what they did, but I'm going to go a little bit different because this knight head is a little bit smaller in proportion to the track section. I want to raise the head off of the unit, so about this much is what I'm looking at, right, like that. So I'm looking at that like that. That'll give me room for his weapons, and then, you know, I can putty that in with some green stuff, or I can glue some random wires and bits to it to show how it's connected. But that's kind of how I want it to look, and I am going to armor. I'm going to do the armor plates on the treads that are on the breachers, and I am going to weaponize all 8 weapons. The 4 weapons from the breachers and the 4 weapons from the destroyers. On the first set of battle servitors, I just made them destroyers and magnetized the grav cannon and the plasma culverin. I wish I would have went a little further in that and made them both ways, but by doing that I got a huge amount of bits that go with the breacher sections, so they will go a long way to help me convert this. I'm going to be working on this for most of the rest of today and probably the next couple days to see how I can get it done. I'm going to put this video up, and then I will give you periodic updates in the next video of how it's going. And then in the next kit bash video, I will work on taking the legs from the baby knight and the body from this unit to make plain servitors with servo arms and like make multi-meltas, heavy bolters, or plasma cannons. So, and I'll probably magnetize those too if possible. Well, I hope you enjoyed my first attempt at kit bashing. I wish I could have gotten further in my design, but it's taking it's not taking longer than I expected. I expected it to be a process, but I'm really enjoying this, so I want to take my time and try to make it look cool as possible and maybe do some things differently. So I am not quite sure how I want to do it. You know, I could sit him back further, maybe up a little bit on like an armor plate or whatnot. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I will update you in the next video. For Crazy Gamer Games, I'm the Crazy Gamer. Have a great day.